Nathan with Bathe-a-Bins coming in. He is located here in Sarasota and services Sarasota and Manatee County. And so what I'd like to do is just go ahead and give you this platform to talk about it. And I've done a little bit of research on my end, and I think the company name pretty much says it for itself, Bathe-a-Bin. But, for all of those that are at home right now and you've got these garbage cans now through Sarasota County, I don't know about Manatee County. Maybe you can speak on that one for us,
Sure.
Nathan. But they have switched all of our trash bins and recycling bins to county-owned bins. They're all the same. And a lot of times they get disgusting on the inside of them and they smell terrible. So tell me about your business, Nathan.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. I'll do my best not to mess up the interview, but
It's fine
um,
if you do. Don't worry
uh,
about it.
yeah, I'll go back to the county in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll tell you about the business from kind of start to finish. So we've been around 3 years now.
Okay.
Um, we moved to Sarasota from Chicagoland in 2021. And the first thing we noticed was that our garbage bins were absolutely disgusting. I'll spare some of the details. We all know what likes to crawl around in there, but there was a lot of it because the previous homeowners had accidentally left some food in there.
Sure.
So
Love it.
um, so we they left some food in there. It had been in there a few weeks. We ended up getting rid of the food, but the bugs and the smells will remain. So
Sure.
I didn't want to clean it. That was like the last thing I wanted to do. We just come down to Florida. It's hot, middle of May, and I didn't realize it could get hotter, but it gets hotter than it does in May.
It
Um,
sure does.
yeah. So we looked for a place. We couldn't find one, and we decided, maybe we could do it. And so instead of cleaning my own garbage bins, which I didn't want to do. Now I clean everyone else's,
Funny
which
how that works.
I know, so weird. But yeah, so we end up starting a business 3 years ago. Purchase in this really high tech bin cleaning truck. So one of the reasons that it works so well is because our truck is such a it's a technological marvel. If I ever come by your house and I'm cleaning the bins, like come out and take a look at this thing. It's crazy, but it's it it's 4,000 psi pressure washing power
Okay.
and 220-degree heat. So what's really going to kill the bugs isn't bleach or soap or anything like that. What really kills the bugs is heat. You got to have heat. And so we pump out a lot of heat and a lot of pressure, and that does a lot to get rid of the bugs. If you didn't have that, they would just come back next week. And even it's Florida, so they still come back.
Sure.
So you need to schedule frequent cleanings, but it does so much better than just kind of washing it out or using rainwater or any of the things that people will do at home. Like, oh, it's April. I'll just leave it outside with the lid open and then dump it down the driveway. That's okay, I guess, but it really doesn't clean it.
I've
And
literally never had anyone in my life that I know of that has ever done that. And honestly, we have so much rain here in Florida that
Mhm.
sometimes, even as we're filling up our bins and they get just a little bit more full than they're probably used to, so the lid just slightly hangs open and that rainwater gets in.
Yeah.
Oh man, the stench that comes from that is just so
Mhm.
putrid. It's hard, even if you have to like collect it, because sometimes we do have to. Before the county switched over our bins, I want to be clear on that. We had bins that were easily accessible by all kinds of critters, and a lot of the times
Yes.
they would dump the bins over. And
Mhm.
now we're left with this putrid stench of garbage that we have to collect. And even if we were to put something like a layer of plastic over top of our hands, it would
Yeah.
it would actually get through and it would smell so bad on your hands. So
Yep.
I am curious, does it really truly just mean heat and just a high intense pressure that would get rid of all smells without using chemicals?
So That's mostly what I use. I will spray something in there at the end.
Okay.
And mostly it's because, it's personal preference. I have tried several different flavors. I get flavors, scents,
Sure.
flavors.
I get you.
That's gross. Sorry. Uh, so
I love
I've
it.
tried different scents. So some of them I've used a nice calming lavender. I've tried lemongrass and eucalyptus. I like that.
Mm.
That's one of my favorites. I've done a fresh laundry scent because I was just curious, and I actually like that one a lot.
Oh,
But certain scents will keep bugs away, which is
okay.
why I'll spray it in there.
Sure.
There is lemongrass is one of the ones that'll keep bugs away. Not forever, but just a little bit, because the second you put a couple more bags in there, it gets to be about halfway through the week, then, you know, it's the new smell that I sprayed is replaced by the new smell that is in there. But it helps for a little while. Like, it's nice to open it up and instead of being punched in the face with what you're talking about, oh, is that fresh laundry? Okay, yeah, I can deal with that. Because all you have to do, the real purpose, they're garbage bins at the end of the day.
Sure.
So I just, throw in my trash away and then I bring it out to the curb. What we really do is make that not the miserable job it becomes in Florida around July, August, September. These last final, we call them like the championship rounds of summer, where it just won't leave, and then
Right.
you're just tired of, like, it's gross. You don't want to be around them. You kind of throw open the lid and throw the bag in and run for the hills. But we've got all these HOAs, all these deed restricted properties. And all of that means that you're storing your garbage bins in your garage. And if your garage is not climate controlled, which most aren't, um, then you're dealing with that smell in your garage. So if you store
Sure.
your car in there, it's in there with your car. If you store we've got a gym in ours. We put a whole gym in ours.
Okay.
Um, so you've got that smell in there with the gym equipment. So do you really want that? No. You want to clean it, but do you really want to clean it? No. So you call us. Um, we always talk about my wife's family is from New York, and so in New York, you have a guy for everything. Like, oh
Sure.
yeah, here's my suit guy. Here's my this. So down here in Florida, I'm your bin guy. You just give me a
Okay.
call and I'll come by.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So tell me, how has starting this business 3 years ago kind of transformed you and your, I don't know, kind of like your ability to promote and also like position yourselves in the areas that you're serving now?
Um, that's been the hardest part, I think. Marketing, as you know, is one of the hardest parts of any kind of self-run business.
Sure.
Um, in the beginning, it's almost like we lit a bunch of money on fire because we had no idea what we were doing. And
Okay.
if I could go back and make better decisions, I absolutely would. Um, but, you know, we just try and get the word the best we can. Word of mouth is awesome.
Yes.
So what we do, more than anything else, and this has been the key for us, is that you think about your everyday life, my everyday life, your everyday life. Think about the last 4 times you went out to eat, and just the experience you may have had in those. At least one of those was not a good experience. I mean,
Sure.
and that's just the average now. Um, and so we have our own business. It's our family. We own it. We run it. I'm, you know, I'm a stickler on like customer service. I want my experience. It's just I'm just cleaning your bins, and that seems like such a simple thing, but I want the experience that we have as we interact to be the best one that you've ever had.
Sure.
Because I am starved for that. I think a lot of other people are starved for that interaction. And so the best thing that I've found is just I treat every one of my customers like their family. I've had conversations with a lot of them. I've been through happy times, where customers say, "Oh, my daughter got married," or have been through sad times where someone's, husband or father passed away.
Sure.
And I've been there with them, been there for them, um, talked to them. I had one guy that was sick and I knew he lived alone. He was an older guy. And I was like, he said, "Oh, I'm sick. I don't know if I can bring him out." I'm like, can you open the garage? And he's like, "Yeah, I'll open the garage." And so I brought him like soup. I went to the store real quick, bought him some soup and put it as, if you come back out there, there'll be some soup on your
Yeah,
freezer out in the garage. Cause if he's got no one there, who's going to take care of him? So I think,
sure.
that's what we do. We market the best we can, but we, you know, just try and be the best customer service providers we can. Do the best we can. And it's such a small thing to do. But it makes all the difference in the world, for
Right.
everyone. Makes me happy.
Right. And I totally agree. Helping others makes you feel warm and cheery inside, and, helping others as well. It sounds like you have a really big heart, and I absolutely love that about you.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
taking care of others usually does end up, coming back full in your favor. I do have another follow-up question. I know that our um our garbage day has always been Tuesdays.
Yes.
Now, I share a child with my ex.
Mhm.
So in the times that I had him, it was really great because it was his trash day, as part of his
Yeah.
chore list. And he was always responsible for making sure all the garbage got taken out, the boxes get broken down and set into the recycling. And now it's been transformed to now Fridays are the days, but I don't have him on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So we have to now kind of collectively remember our garbage day. But how do you keep up with changes in not only your business schedule when the county just all of a
Mhm.
sudden goes, "Hey guys, we're just going to rearrange your whole schedule for trash, and we're going to," and I know parts of Manatee County have multiple pickup days, whereas we only have one trash collection day. So
Sure.
how do you formulate that and stay on top of things in a very busy uh, expanding
Mhm.
area here? So, I mean, we have a lot of new construction that's popping up, which tells me that you've got immediately more clients that you could, tend to as well. But
Mhm.
how do you build your schedule when it's adapting to different areas?
Um, wow. So going back to, I think, the beginning of the year when Sarasota County. So there's Sarasota City, there's Sarasota County, there's Bradenton, and then there's Manatee County. So each one is separated by who does what for who. The
Okay.
cities take care of their own garbage, waste disposal, and the counties contract those out. So
Okay.
Sarasota decided that their contract was up with their waste provider, and they renegotiated and found two other waste providers. And so
Okay.
depending on the area of the county you're in, you could be with FCC or you could be with Waste Pro. Um, that one, we have more clients in Sarasota. I didn't realize, this is all funny because I do this every day. Um, and I didn't realize how many more Sarasota clients we had. So once that happened, we had to reorganize everything.
Sure.
We'll come by and we set it up. So say you live in a certain zip code, 34240. Okay, so that's
That's
in
where I am.
between. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so in between University and Fruitville.
Yes.
Well, it's actually Palmer and Fruitville, and then to the east. Your garbage day went from Tuesday to Friday, and then so you just had to know to make that change, but they also replaced your bins. In Sarasota County, you could request a smaller bin. So you could take, the default was the 96-gallon, like giant mamma jamma thing. And then
Okay.
you could have requested, you had a time period where you could request a smaller one. But we come out the second Friday of every month. So we go to 34240. So that's your day. So if you sign up you would be the second Friday. We would come out on that day. Um,
Okay.
Honestly, we could do it on weekends, could come out Saturday because we usually go the day behind just in case. But I personally don't want to work weekends, especially since now my oldest daughter is in competitive the team gymnastics team, so she might have an extra scheduled Saturday morning thing. So I just want to be there for that. Um, so Fridays will come out, we'll clean on that day. Second Friday every month in there. Another part of Manatee, we might be on another day of the month. So if you sign up, it'll always be the same time,
Okay.
same day of the month. Now, Manatee County, which you just mentioned, was 2 days. So they had a lot of them is either a Tuesday, Wednesday trash pickup, Thursday recycling, and then a Friday trash pickup again. That's
Okay.
all changed. It's all one day.
Wow.
So
Oh,
it's a huge change for Manatee County where they're only getting one day a week. Um, their biggest change, which we had to reschedule all of Manatee County because of that. Their biggest change is they did not allow for a smaller garbage bin. So you get their massive 96-gallon bin. And I think personally, and I don't want to speak ill of Manatee County because it's work and everything, but um, if you're, say, a 75 plus year old single woman living at home and you are used to your small 30-gallon, little thing that you wheel to the corner, and now you've got this massive 96-gallon thing, which they made it the weight of it. I know it's weird.
yes.
I do trash can rating videos on my YouTube, but so I'm a connoisseur of trash cans, I guess, but
I love
there's
that.
it's a long one, so it makes it easier to balance, but it's still so big. So it's harder for the older ladies. So if there's any, if you've got any of them around, they might need help every week. But yeah, so they just have the one bin and it's big. Um, and they have the one day. So
Okay.
whatever day they move to now is they get that one, and it's
Okay.
all of it. So trash, recycling, and yard waste all in one day.
Okay. So on average, your clients book you on a monthly basis and you come out once a month. So that's
Mhm.
not too hard to schedule. I was thinking it was a more on a routine basis, but that makes so much more sense. I think that would be a lot easier to schedule for you, at least as a business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to book one day out of the month to go into separate neighborhoods and do
Mhm.
that. So, all right, tell me what is the cost of your business?
It depends on how often we come out. So we have
Okay.
different subscription plans. So monthly is just $30 for 2 bins,
Okay.
which is we come out once a month, clean them, scrub them, the whole thing. Um, it goes up $5 every month. So if we come out every 2 months, it's 35.
Okay.
Every 3 months, it's 40. And so it just depends on how, whoever's living in the residence, how much trash they make, um, if you've got a young family with kids, anywhere between baby to like teenager, they make a lot of trash. It's different kinds. In the early
It's a different
stages,
kind
it's
of
all,
trash.
yeah. So for the first couple of years, it's all diapers, which smell, and then you put them in there and then smells. Then it becomes like your kids are just throwing random things like half-eaten ice cream cones or something in your trash. So all the way up to when they leave the house. So, if you've got a young family, a little dog where you're throwing those bags in there, it stinks. So,
Right.
um, we come out more often, but we can, work with anybody on how often, or we can come out just one time. One
Okay.
time is $55 for the 2 bins, and that's the most reasonable in the area. So it's a good price for that, we think. And every other bin, say you have more bins, it's just $10 after that per bin.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Just if you've got 5 bins, it'll just be $10 for all the extras.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really good to know. We don't
Mhm.
often use a lot of other bins other than for yard waste. So Those ones, while why vegetation smells the absolute worst when it gets wet. But that's usually something that we will stuff in our old bins that we were using before the county provided, and they do. Thank goodness they're stackable, so we can consolidate a lot of them. And honestly, we
Hmm.
don't even really use much of them anymore. But that's really good to know that in the times that we do use them, that we can, have a set price just to clean them all at one time and get that done and over with.
Hmm.
So yeah. So how what's like some of your favorite parts of the job?
Um, I know it's such a weird. I feel like Mike Rowe sometimes, the dirty jobs guy, because you know he seems smiling and happy, but he's on a TV show. But he's doing the worst things imaginable. And it's pretty bad. Sometimes I have to actually get in the bin, which
Okay.
is I'll get in, but that's fine. I don't want you guys to get in. I'll do it. But my favorite thing is when people bring their kids out. So like they've got, oh, I've got this boy and he loves garbage trucks because
Yes.
that is a thing. Boys and garbage trucks, they love
Yes.
them. So they'll come out, and depending on their age, if they're old enough, I'll say, hey, do you want to help me? And then, I'll help them lift the bins up into the truck so I can clean it because we clean it in the truck so it doesn't like get all over the ground or
Sure.
anything. We take all the water with us. We'll spray the outside and that's fine, but the inside we take with us. But I'll let them lift the truck up, and I won't let them hold the pressure washing wand because that's 4,000 psi is a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Um, but I'll let them do that. And normally, because it's my business and I love having my own business, I will usually discount. I don't know if all the parents know this, but if they come out and their kid has helped me, I'll discount them some money, and it'll say assistant ice cream discount because I want them to go buy their kid some ice cream. You just did a little bit of work. I know it's not hard, but like get some ice cream. And then for some reason, it just like I did it once and I'm like, was so much fun. And so every time someone wants to come help, I'll do
I love that. That's incredible. I never would have expected that story. Even
it.
though I've got a kid, so my youngest son, we moved into a new construction neighborhood.
Hmm.
So for him, every weekend his dad would take him to Target to buy what he would just call choo-choos, but they weren't just trucks. They were like, or trains. They were trucks. They were bulldozers, and it was all these construction vehicles. And
Right.
he would accumulate all of them. Like, we were literally spoiling this kid. But to my point, we moved into this new construction neighborhood, and he would bring out his choo-choos, and he would play with them in the edge of our property in the dirt and watch the ones working across the street, and it just lit his eyes up. Like, it
Oh,
was
that's cool.
it was really neat. So
Yeah.
while not everyone is on board with buying in a new construction and dealing with the construction, me
Hmm.
having a small child, I have to say, like, that was some of the best memories that I had of watching him and being so inspired by all the trucks that are there. So I definitely understand that vision. And
Yeah.
like, just, it's kind of like having children all together. You're reliving through their eyes. So
Right.
everything that seems so mundane to us is just like, eyes wide open, and it's
It's
just an
true.
incredible
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that my wife pointed that out. She's like, I try not to look through me because I'm, you know, well, not her, but like, sometimes we get jaded. We're, getting older and then all this stuff is happening and like, whatever. But like they look at it and they're like, oh my goodness. And then so you're like, okay, that's what I want to see. I want to keep making that happen. So
Yes.
it is a
Yeah.
good part. That's the best part of my day.
I love that for you. Well, thank you so much for this interview and taking time to come on here and talk about your business. And
Yeah.
and getting to know you on a more personal level as well. So I really appreciated that. So that was fantastic. So
Thank you so much, Kelly.
absolutely. So for all of you watching, I'm going to have in the description below his contact information so that if you're looking to get your bins cleaned out, this is a great reference for you to use. And we encourage you to share this amongst your neighbors and those that are in your community as well to really build up family-owned businesses that are within Sarasota, Manatee County. So thank you again. I'm Kelly Fullick with Coldwell Banker, and we have Nathan LaForte with Bathe-a-Bins. So thank you so much and have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.